The purpose of this presentation is to provide further information to rail transport operators and network controllers about the common issues ONRSR has identified across network control operations in Australia. The presentation provides general observations to encourage the assessment of the risks to rail safety in the context of network control operations. Rail transport operators should, as part of their ongoing review of their safety management systems, review the recruitment, onboarding, training and development of its network controllers. Traditionally, railway employees progress to network control positions by developing a working understanding of local networks, interlockings within the network, the operating infrastructure and details of rolling stock and platform operations. With the introduction of formal qualifications for network controllers through vocational training institutions, a gap has appeared and many network controllers now face the challenge of understanding the rail environment, applicable standards and safe working requirements. ONRSR receives about 2,000 reports per year relating to safe working breaches. Of these, around 160 involve an error by the network controller. ONRSR has reviewed a series of safe working occurrences that occurred over a 3-year period. The review revealed that approximately 8% of safe working breaches are generated by network controller error. A review of investigation reports provided by rail transport operators identified common themes relating to network control safety issues. These safety issues include network controller competency, network controller experience, and emergency response management. ONRSR reviewed a series of safe working breaches that involved an aspect of network controller error. A lack of clear communication between track or train personnel and the network controller can create gaps in the protection systems in the network rules. Common miscommunications include protection arrangements, incorrect line identification, and confusion over who is being communicated with. A common error made by network controllers is the incorrect identification of the location of track personnel or the location of infrastructure such as points and signalling systems. Decisions that are made under time pressure have an increased likelihood of error unless familiarity with the network and positive identification of the location are undertaken. Network control systems rely on network controller vigilance supported by alarms. While these provide an alert to the network controller after an incident, the more important factor in responding to an incident is the ability of the network controller to anticipate and remain alert for the potential for the incident to occur. While some risks are self-evident, others may manifest as a result of the actions that are taken or not taken. It is important that rail transport operators assure themselves that network controllers are cognizant of the full array of risks and are capable of responding effectively. For example, how do you ensure that changes in the condition of the network are communicated appropriately? How do you ensure that the response to a report of a loss of air on rolling stock is managed safely? How do you balance the focus on maintaining on-time running with the management of the network to mitigate safety occurrences? Network control is a specialist task that requires specific qualifications, training and instruction in order to gain proficiency. The Certificate for Network Control Operations provides formal qualification for network controllers. Like many tasks, the formal qualification provides theoretical knowledge. However, the practical application of that knowledge is essential to safe railway operations. Reliance on the completion of the Certificate 4 should not provide, on its own, confidence that a new network controller is competent. The application of the knowledge in the context of the operational rail environment is as important to the skills of the network controller in making correct judgments and applying proper procedure. With a reliance on vocational education, there are occasions that a new employee to network control has limited prior rail knowledge or experience. Behavioural interviews, including psychometric assessments that indicate a person's aptitude, are not sufficient to ensure that a new employee has the necessary skills and experience. The training needs of the new employee should be assessed to ensure sufficient knowledge and experience is gained through a supervised and managed onboarding program. Consider role-playing scenarios. Provide exposure to other business units. It is important that they understand the day in the life of track workers, train crew, station staff, to gain a broader perspective of railway operations. Consider a formal on-the-job training plan that includes a list of activities that have to be undertaken before the employee is declared competent. After training, ensure that the new network controller has a suitably qualified person who they can reach out to for support. Humans are prone to making errors. The likelihood of an error being created increases when we are in unfamiliar circumstances or under pressure to make decisions with limited information. Network controllers rely upon their understanding of the rail network, the network rules, and the operating procedures of their railway to make decisions. However, the rail environment is not a static environment. Different rolling stock operators that interface with the network have different procedures. Rail infrastructure managers review and change procedures, and there are other procedures that are not required to be used frequently. The ever-changing interface creates uncertainty. Knowledge and experience should be supported by training at the right time to ensure a level of competency to perform tasks is maintained. Rail transport operators should consider the frequency of refresher training for network controllers, developing a risk-based training program that identifies and focuses on high-risk activities, procedures and rules that are infrequently used and the impact of not understanding them, and the high level of training provided when rule changes occur. Change is often required to network rules and procedures to improve rail safety. It is essential that network controllers are involved in any proposed changes. Consultation and communication allows an opportunity for a rail transport operator to review its risks holistically and ensure new risks are not created. Do forms provide the correct guidance and reminders? Are the rules and procedures relied upon by network controllers still consistent? Are ad hoc amendments being made that create an uncoordinated management of risks? Human performance can also be affected by their environment. The design and layout of control rooms should be considered to ensure optimum conditions are available for network control operations. Consideration should be given to acoustics of the room, lighting, and visibility of displays. Consideration should also be made of individual task demands. A balanced workload may be achieved through increasing automation of signalling systems, reviewing the area of responsibility for network operations for controllers, flexible panel arrangements for special working conditions, and minimising task distraction. The management of fatigue should also be considered to allow for the provision of breaks, self-declaring of fatigue, management of overlapping shifts and overtime, rest opportunities after shifts, and resource availability. Guidance on the management of fatigue is available on the ONRSR website. Supervisors must ensure that a network controller has understood and is able to apply the qualifications, training, and instructions they have been provided. Informal and formal performance reviews should be conducted. The review should check the controller's style of communication, including the accuracy of tasks, avoidance of jargon and casual exchanges, safety-critical communication, and the use of phonetics. Furthermore, the supervisor should gain some assurance that the network controller has a good knowledge of safe working authorities, the application of protections, and task prioritisation. Following significant incidents, all network controllers should be involved in the lessons that might be learned. This is particularly important for new network controllers, including after an error has been made. Supervisors are encouraged to develop a mentor relationship for new network controllers, provide guidance where necessary to assist decision making, and monitor task demand and provide assistance as required. Formal assessments may be useful after a set period of time to provide feedback to the new controller and to seek opportunities for improvement in the rail transport operator's procedures and processes. In response to the concerns that ONRSR has raised about network controller errors, the compliance program for rail infrastructure managers will focus on the performance of network control. The focus of regulatory activities will be on the training of personnel, resource management within network control centres, and the monitoring activities conducted by the rail transport operator. Rail transport operators are encouraged to review their risk assessments and control measures for inexperienced network controllers. Consideration should be given to the risks to railway operations that may arise as a result of inexperience, a lack of training, or a lack of clarity of procedures and rules. Rail transport operators must be satisfied that sufficient training and instruction is provided to ensure risks to rail safety are properly mitigated. ONRSR welcomes feedback on this presentation. Feedback should be provided to contact@onrsr.com.au. Further information and resources are available on our website or by following us on Twitter.